Gandang araw, I am Johannes Paulo de la Rosa and I will be presenting how technology changes our attitudes and opinions. But first, let us define what is attitude and opinion. Attitude refers to a set of emotions and beliefs toward a particular object, person, thing, or event. It is a manner, disposition, or orientation, and it is the entirety of man's inclinations and feelings, prejudice or bias, preconceived notions, and ideas. Sa madaling salita, ang attitude ay iyong saloobin na inihahayag natin patungo sa isang bagay. Meanwhile, opinion is a belief, judgment, or way of thinking about something. It is a fact-based judgment, an honest attempt to draw a reasonable conclusion from evidence, ang ating paniniwala hinggil sa isang bagay. Now that we have defined these two, let us now see how technology affects our attitude. So first, it cannot be denied that technology has a big impact in our lives. We have relied on it so much that it has come to a point where it is now playing a vital role in society, particularly in learning and communication. However, as Allen claimed, despite the positive impact it brings, there is still a downside to it. So, tignan natin kung ano yung mga positibo o di kaya ay negatibong epekto ng teknolohiya sa ating attitude. Una ay ang active engagement in the community. Sa pamamagitan ng technology, we can be part of support groups, strengthen our relationship, and integrate ourselves with people whom we have similar interests with. So mula rito, nabubuo yung pagtingin natin or positibong pagtingin natin with regards to building connections with other people. Second, technology cultivates a sense of inner peace. Through our phones, we can now have access sa mga wellness and health resources, and particularly yung mga mindfulness applications or di kaya ay self-management na applications. So through this, we can build and practice skills like gratitude, mindfulness, and emotion regulation that will help us develop positive attitudes. Next ay ang impulsiveness. Sabi sa isang pag-aaral, generations today are too hasty in expressing their voice in social media without even thinking the consequences of their words and actions. So nagiging nagiging self-interested na daw masyado ang mga kabataan ngayon. Next is the fear of missing out or FOMO. So when we scroll through social media, minsan nakakakita tayo ng posts na nakakapagpainggit sa atin, and it makes us want to have that or to belong to some group or a moment that others are experiencing or posting about, and more often than not, nakakaramdam tayo ng self-exclusion mula dito. Ang panghuli naman ay ang vulgar tendency. So, the media has exposed younger people or young people to sensational information such as murder, violence, and sex. So, what might be considered as violence for the majority is now an entertainment for young audiences. And this is dangerous kasi for individuals who do not have a sense of what is right or wrong, they may imitate these behaviors. At mula rito ngayon, nakita na natin kung paano nga ba nakakaapekto ang technology sa ating attitudes. So now, let us take a look on how social media shapes our attention. First, we have to acknowledge that social media or media is a source of information. Binibigyan tayo ng kaalaman nito sa mga bagay-bagay from various perspectives and fields, and which makes us be influenced from these fields or perspectives. At mula roon, nabubuo natin yung thoughts and opinions natin. Second, mass media helps those in need. So when the media assists those in need, it has a positive impact on public opinion. So for instance, kapag may pagkakataon na hindi alam or hindi malay yung tao sa nangyayari sa lipunan, the media may take coverage of this, and maaari maging positive force ang media by spreading information about the full scope of the event. Third, nakatutulong ang media na pagtibayan yung opinion natin. So sometimes when we have uncertainties regarding our opinion, maaaring tumungo tayo sa social media or sa mass medias tulad ng television, radios, and newspaper. So these sources of information will help us reinforce or strengthen our ideas or opinions regarding something. So, a downside of how technology can shape our opinion is through aggression. And karaniwan natin itong nakikita sa mga troll posts. So, ang mga troll posts na ito ay ginagawa para lamang magbigay or mag-elicit ng anger or ng galit sa mga tao. And ang panghuli naman ay ang hate speech. So, online platforms may show discriminatory remarks through hate speech which may influence other people's opinion na maaari pang makapagpakalat ng hate speech. So, yung mga taong hindi pa fully built ang opinion regarding something, when they face hate speech, no, the discriminatory remarks or biases from these hate speech may influence their opinion. So, with how technology can positively and negatively affect our attitudes and decisions, I have had some realizations regarding these and pati na rin yung mga implications nito regarding sa moral and ethical principles. First, I realized that majority emphasize the harm that technology brings to us. Although this is quite true, we should also keep in mind how technology helps us with our everyday lives. I can reflect here the principle of utilitarianism. So, despite the technology or the harm that technology brings, it still benefits people in a way that it helps us keep in touch with families or relatives that are far away from us, puts our lives at ease, no? Yung mga online shopping, no, kaya yung mga madaling services or health services, no, which we could contact immediately, and provides us happiness from the entertainment it brings. Second, napansin ko or na-realize ko that everyone is entitled to his or her own opinion. So, our personal opinions that are shaped by the media cannot be perceived as right or wrong because the opinions we gain through the media cannot be discriminated as it is our fundamental right to have our choices or opinions respected because we are human beings. Third, the impulsive attitude that children nowadays show in social media gravely harms our connection with others. So it is our emotion that often leads us into having conflict with others. And when we have conflict, it clearly violates the principle of natural law by not treating people with respect. So instead of promoting the flourishment of human life and respecting people, we instead do negative things that hinders us into achieving the flourishment of life. So fourth is the fear of missing out or FOMO. So the feeling of always wanting and becoming more causes us to become envious of others. So it creates a sense of discomfort within ourselves. And personally, I think that FOMO hinders us into obtaining a virtuous life. So instead of loving and respecting what we have and who we are as a person, we tend to become greedy and we build this kind of identity that is based on others. And most importantly, most or opinions from in the form of hate speech can disrupt certain values. Technology has promoted the formation of opinion among people, and the proliferation of hate speech in technology can affect our personal values through the media. So instead of peace, these will promote violence and conflict. And moreover, our sense of equality, dignity, and honor will deteriorate as the negative opinions continue to dominate social media.